I'm just starting this out. My first time on this app. I want to start off by saying, all praise to Yahweh. Um, Man, I'm so grateful to be breathing. It's so many people who were not fortunate enough to wake up today. It's so many people who might have lost loved ones, but I'm here and my family's here. So all I can say is all praise to Yahweh. To anyone who might see this, you should say the same. Um, I just wanted to say a few random things, really. One thing I wanted to say to all my meat eaters or people who believe they're meat eaters. Let's think about meat eaters right quick, and let's think about how meat eaters are really supposed to eat meat. Okay, so now us as let's say the African American race. If you were to tell an African American to eat uncooked meat, they would look at you crazy, right? They would look at you crazy. Now, I have a few so called white friends, pale skinned friends, whatever you'd like to call them, and I've known them to eat raw meat. It's very interesting to me. Or not to cook their meat all the way sometimes. Sometimes literally all the way raw, sometimes not all the way cooked. Now, another thing, if you were to tell an African American, just saying African Americans now, to eat their meat with no seasoning, again, they would look at you crazy. They would look at you absolutely crazy. Now, the point I'm getting at here is if we seen a lion catch a gazelle or whatever it would like to eat, do we think that this lion would pull out some grease in a frying pan or pull out a pot and some water and start boiling it or, start frying the gazelle? Or do we think that the lion would pull out some seasoning salt, you know what I'm saying, or some garlic, pap, 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 put them tenderoni, you know what I'm saying, get them a little, I don't think I don't think the lion would do that. I don't think the lion would go out, find him some peppers, cut it up, dice it up, make him a nice little meal. I think he just gonna catch the gazelle and eat it right then. Why? Well, we know that the lion is a meat eater, obviously. We put specific names on it, but we'll just be simple and say we know that he eats specifically meat, right? Now, for all my African Americans that do see this, I want you to do me a favor. Because I know maybe some Caucasian people, it's jokes. Oh, Caucasian people don't got seasonings, in the cabinet. They might only got salt, pepper, whatever. I know some people might, some of them might really got seasoning. We don't know. You don't know what nobody got in their kitchen. You don't know if people can cook or not. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop with that, biased thinking. We don't never know. But anyways, for anyone who might have seasonings in their cabinets, especially African Americans, because I know yours is full of them, I want you to go in there and look through all your seasonings and tell me which one of them was made with anything other than vegetables. Anything other than, vegetation. Seriously. It's very interesting to me. When I first started to look into this, just being an Aboriginal and just thinking, of what my ancestors would have done. I just don't see them eating meat. I just really don't do that. I just can't imagine the Aboriginals eating meat. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But it was just like me being a meat eater, because I used to love hamburgers, man. I used to love hamburgers, and I ain't gonna lie, man. Who don't like chicken? I used to love seafood, but by the time I was like 16, for some reason, I would just be throwing up every time I would eat a hamburger. From the time I was like 16 to like 20, because I really stopped eating them when I was like 20, because it was just like I was just tired of. I would puke them back up every time I ate them. Every time I ate a hamburger, don't matter where it was from. It started with McDonald's, and I stopped eating McDonald's. Like, I stopped eating McDonald's hamburgers, and I started like trying to eat like chicken sandwiches and fries and stuff. But they just all became so nasty, bro. Like, I could not eat the chicken sandwiches. I couldn't eat nothing from McDonald's. It just made me sick to even think about it. But anyways, just saying, when I stopped eating meat and stuff, and I just started to think about that, like, wow, man, I really been sitting here, trying to make this meat that I'm eating taste like vegetables. Wait, hold up. We sitting here making jokes. We sitting here making jokes at white people, right? Oh, they don't season their meat and all of this and that, da 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 da. Oh, they don't cook their food. I ain't eating with them, right? But the jokes really should be on you. Because no meat eaters, go look in the animal kingdom and you tell me one animal that seasons their meat. Tell me one of them. Tell me one animal that you know that cooks their meat, put their meat on a fire. Or come on now. So really the joke would be on the person who would be cooking and seasoning the meat. Why do I say that? Well, just do some research on the medical health on eating uncooked meat versus eating cooked meat. You would think that it would be a lot healthier to eat cooked meat, right? Do your own research on it. Do your own research on that and see how unhealthy it is actually to eat cooked meat. See how unhealthy it is to eat this cooked meat. See the chemicals that you are reacting by cooking this meat. Literally. By cooking this meat, it's certain chemicals and stuff that is reacting. Especially if you're eating seafood. Oh man. Oh man. Especially if you're eating seafood. No lie. Like shrimp, crab. It's disgusting. But I just wanted y'all to just think about that. Like, especially for my people that are aboriginals, because I've seen a lot of us waking up to the fact of being aboriginals, and that is great, But the thing is, we gotta really start asking the question: are we aboriginals in our heart? Because for us to be aboriginals or even want to go back to our aboriginal ways, we'd have to feel it in our hearts first of all. Excuse me. But we really have to feel it in our hearts first of all. And what I mean by that, like I used to, kill bugs and stuff, all that type of stuff. Like when I was a kid, I used to do crazy stuff, bro. I used to kill frogs, all type of stuff, bro. Just being a kid, running through the woods, just being crazy. And now I just think back at that, like, wow, that was absolutely terrible. Like, just thinking, okay, so all kids think it's okay to kill animals, kill bugs, kill stuff. Like anyone thinks it's okay. You see a spider or you see a fly, no one wants that around them. But just think about this. If it was one kid that said, "Oh, I'm not going to kill that spider. I'm not going to kill that fly." Why are y'all killing those? Why are y'all killing it? Those. What if we were spiders? What if we were these ants? What if we were, because I remember when I was young, another thing I used to do was step on ant beds. It's like a really crazy thing. But like now I'm just thinking about it. What if me and my family was this home of ants and we took this however long it takes to build this ant castle? It's awesome if you actually do your research on like ants and how big their castles are, like under the ground. It is amazing. It's like wow, it's amazing to just see the creation that Yahweh has put out there, man. Like, and that's why I just say, another reason why I say all praise to Yahweh, because just thinking about that, like, wow, how do the ants do that? What mindset do they have? Like, how do they speak to each other? But I'm sorry to get off track, but just saying, man, whether you Aboriginal or not, the one thing that we really should start doing is thinking. Thinking, seriously, just thinking. Because thinking, I mean, it might hurt some people, but it never hurt anybody to just seriously think. Think about the things that we're doing. Think about the things that we're intaking in our body. Think about the things that we're listening to. Think about the people that we're hanging around. Think about the next our next step. Think about 10 years from now what you're going to be doing. Just think, and actually put work into what you're thinking. So, what do I mean by that? So, obviously, I would be saying I don't eat meat anymore, from just saying all of this. But just thinking about what I was saying in the first place was how I was like, man, I'm sitting here trying to season my meat to make it taste like vegetables, right? Not only that, I'm cooking my meat, which is causing me to have health problems, literally health problems, which is why in the African American community, by the time you're about 50 years old, you have health problems, specifically like diabetes and stuff. It's because of what you're eating. Pork chops and fried chicken and yeah, yeah, that's what's happening. I mean, it's true, and it's really sad because it's our way of life. We've been doing it for so long, so it's like it just sounds crazy to stop doing it. It sounds crazy to say, "Oh, I'm not about to eat no chicken today," or "I'm not about to eat no." But I mean, if you say it like this, if you say, "I don't want any dead flesh," just think about it like this: dead flesh. We're eating dead flesh. I mean, unless you're like an animal would do. See, this is another thing about being a meat eater. When the animal catches its meat, it doesn't like kill it before it eats it. I mean, a snake does, and maybe a few other animals. But like I was saying, a lion doesn't catch the dang on gazelle and beat the gazelle up and make sure it's dead before it eats it. No, when the lion catches it, it sinks its teeth right into it, smack into it. It's over with. That's the end of it. Your meal right now. We're finna eat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're eating dead flesh. Not to mention, this flesh been dead for we don't even know how long. We buying it packaged. We're buying this stuff packaged. We don't. And if you go look up the process of grinded foods, ground beef, hot dogs, bologna, any food that's grinded up, man, people are coming out of their jobs and quitting their jobs and stuff and exposing their jobs because they just can't do this anymore, knowing that it's plastic and all type of stuff being grounded up in this meat that we're eating. Like, literally, you can go look up the process of these grounded foods, watch videos on it, and you'll be disgusted. I mean, honestly. And they're telling us it's beef. This is a cow. No, maybe like 2% of that, 3% of that ground beef that you got out of that store today was a cow. About 2% of it. But it said real beef. Okay. It was real beef, all right. I seen a very disgusting video. It wasn't. I mean, it might not be disgusting to others, but it was disgusting to me. I'm not gonna lie. And this was another thing that really had me thinking about like not eating meat anymore. But it was like, this is how real steak looks, and it was a piece of a cow that was freshly cut off of a dead cow, and it was moving. It was moving. And I went and looked up and seen if that was real, and it was like the muscle spasms. The muscles were still moving. So you see, when we get our steak out of the store, our steak, we're not seeing our meat moving. Like, come on, when you're putting your steak or whatever, pork chop, whatever on your fryer, you're not seeing it move before you put it on there. You're just putting it on there and eating it. Man, I seen this junk moving, and he said that's what real meat looks like. I was like, so what is the process? I'm just wondering, so what is the process, or how long does it take for the muscle tendons in this real meat to stop moving like this before we get it? Because it was like blood pulsating through it. And I'm just like, man, I wonder if people are eating that too. I mean, I know they were, obviously. But it was just like, oh, man, I couldn't just keep thinking about eating meat and stuff like that after seeing that, and especially when learning things like this. I'll just give you some examples on why I don't like eat just even animal products, right? So we can go look this up. Like, we'll just go ask some questions, right? So for one, hot dogs. Let's go ask the question for hot dogs. We're gonna go ask, do hot dogs have human DNA? What? Yeah. Do hot dogs contain human DNA? And let's see what we see here. This was very interesting to me. It says clear food. Hold on, I don't know how to switch this around. Okay, wait. Okay, there we go. There we go. It says wait, what just happened to that? Okay, there we go. Right. Have found that, right, problematic. Look at this now. Human DNA, bro. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Does ground beef have human DNA in it? Not only human DNA, rat DNA. Bro, y'all need to, like, seriously do the research on what we're eating. Like, just, we can go ask these questions. The FDA does not care because the FDA knows, we're not at this stuff anyways. We're not going to ask these questions, right? This says that ground beef. Now, I could have read that, right? But I would rather you guys go read it. I want you guys go look this up and see if it pulls up the same way on your tabs. Because it's just like, wow. And it's not one either. I want you guys to look at this. Seriously, it's crazy. When I first looked in this, it's so many different questions. And it's so many different links. Human DNA found in hot dogs. Hot dogs and sausages contain human DNA. It keeps on going. It keeps on going too. Like it keeps on going. It's not a joke. But let's go to another question. Let's ask another question. And this is what they're not telling us that we're eating. You know what I'm saying? So, does chicken contain feces? So it says, I'll just read this out. The PCRM tested chicken products and found 48%, 50% tested positive for fecal contamination. Now, I want y'all to we're going to run that back again. The PCRM tested chicken products and found 48% tested positive for fecal contamination. We're out here eating poop. Now, again, you can do the same thing here that we just did with the last question. This is one thing that I want y'all to remember. Like I always say, simple research is just one question away. Simple research is really just one type in away. You can type in a lot of things and find some stuff. There's poop in our chicken meat. Come on, man. It's not a joke. Chicken, beef, pork are often contained with feces. Chicken, beef, and pork. We can go ask these same questions. We can go ask, does beef contain feces? We know it's going to tell us that. I promise you guys, you can go look it up for yourselves. Especially if they just told you this. We can keep scrolling. Why you shouldn't wash your chicken? Yeah. And like I'm telling y'all, it's not a secret. It's a secret to us because we don't research. And it's not. And the reason we don't do research is because we really don't know what to research. We don't know what's going on. They're keeping it hidden from us. So how could we really possibly start to just learn or research if we're not even getting the drops on where to research at, or where to start, And for those of you who don't know me, I'm pretty sure no one on this app does. Excuse me, y'all. Lips a little crusty. But that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to just give you something to do. Because we're sitting in the house all day anyways, playing the video game. Watching TV, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Snapchat, Twitter, you name it. Why not throw a little bit of research in there? Why not throw a little bit of questions in there? All you got to do, and this is another thing, y'all, I want y'all to realize with simple research. I don't want you to ask questions and then see the first thing that pop up and just stick with that, right? If you're really researching something, number one, real research, it's not just no one click away and no 5-second reading. That's not what real research is. Real research, you're going to have to, dig, and you'll see when you start the simple research. But it starts with the simple research, which is the asking of questions and just being curious, like I say, just wondering, you know what I'm saying? Keep thinking. That's what you got to do. Think, wonder, ponder, whatever you'd like to. It's so many words that you can say for it, But another question we can ask. We can ask a few more questions with this. All right. All right, how about this one? Milk. Because milk, now, like I was saying, it's so many reasons why, we should not eat meat. So many, bruh. Like, we can literally go look up, does eating meat, and this is how I know the aboriginals did not eat meat. It's not even a think. I'm going to be honest. I know they didn't. And you ain't even gotta, man, they finished typing it in for you. The question he asked here is, does eating meat destroy the environment? Meat consumption is responsible for the release in greenhouse gases, such as methane, CO2, and nitrous oxide. My bad, you all. The gases contribute to climate change, such as global warming. Livestock farming contributes to these greenhouse gases in several ways. The destruction of the forest ecosystems. So, in other words, let me just put that in simple words. So, not only are we destroying the communities and the world, the environment, by taking and killing of nature, which is, when you start to actually just think about it, when you're eating meat and stuff, when you're just living this life that we've been living, it doesn't seem like it's anything wrong with it. But if you just think about it, animals eat other animals. We're not animals. And this is what I was saying. How do we know we're not animals? Because we're sitting here trying to cook our meat. We're sitting here trying to put seasoning salt on our meat. Come on now. No animals pull out seasoning salt or even salt and pepper. Even for the people who just use salt and pepper. You're not no meat eater. Sorry to tell you. If you was a meat eater, what you need to do is you need to go out there and find whatever you want to eat. Chicken, whatever. Catch that chicken right there alive and take your bite up out of it. That's what meat eaters do. That's why you put them up from the wolf, right? You put the chickens in the chicken coop so the wolf don't get them. Because the wolf ain't finna catch the chicken and you ain't finna come out and see the wolf them started a fire in your backyard and got the chickens frying and pulled out some grease. And come on, man. No. The wolf is finna tear that chicken right up. Gobble, gobble. That's a turkey, my bad. But, so, now, again, with the milk. And it's funny that he had a cow right here. It was very funny. It's very interesting to me that the image that we see here is dude with cows, bro. Right? Because this is where we're finna go next. Now, another thing about when we're eating this meat. Another thing when we're sitting here eating this meat. Man, we are literally eating the things that aren't even a threat. Okay, I can see if we were killing animals and eating them because they were threats. I can see if it was like a killer elephant or, something crazy. Lions, you said you wanted to kill them because they're killing people or something. But honestly, now, I want y'all to think about this. How many times have you ever heard of a lion killing people? Have you ever heard of a lion going on a killing spree? of people, being a mass murderer? Have you ever heard of a pack of wolves going and being on a killing spree? Have you ever heard of a bear going and being on a killing spree, or any other type of animal that we are scared of? Jaguars, bobcats. Have you ever heard them going on a killing spree of 30 people or 20 people? Like, we don't hear about that because it doesn't happen. We're the ones killing them. Yeah, we're the ones killing them. Typically, when someone gets killed by a bobcat or something like that, it's they were walking solo, and they were in areas where they should have been probably warned that animals like that would be in that area. And they probably were just like, well, it's okay. They didn't think they were going to see one, and they ended up seeing one, and it didn't turn out the way that they expected. And that happens a lot of times. I mean, rest in peace to whoever that might have happened to. I mean, I'm sorry for that. But I'm not going to lie to you. If I know that there's some dangerous animals out there, and they're not about to be tamed, because that's another thing people try to do, is tame animals and stuff, like they try to tame people. But why would I go and put my life at risk trying to play around? That is absolutely crazy. But for the milk. So if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure, I know you're old enough to know. If you do watch this, I know you're old enough to know that you don't drink your mother's milk anymore, and why you shouldn't. It's pretty weird. I mean, you maybe don't know the physical health reasons why, but I mean, literally why it just doesn't sound right at all, right? I mean, that's what you did when you were a baby, when you didn't remember doing that. You know what I'm saying? That this was used to build you up as a human, used to make you strong. That's what we're told that milk does, right? Builds our bones and makes us strong and all of that, right? Interesting. But now, how would you feel now that we all know not everyone, may have drinking breast milk. Some people may have, been formula fed. But if we did, now let's keep this in mind. Did your mother go and breastfeed other people's children too? Did your mother go around? Did people come and knock on your door and say, "Hey, I need my baby. My baby needs some milk, or we need some cereal"? You know, that sounds crazy. I know it sounds absolutely crazy. But now let's think about this cow. Let's think about this cow and the bull and you know the calf. Let's think about this. Now we're wondering why the bull is so upset and why they're raging. Well, if I was a bull and you took my heifer, my cow away from me, and my baby away from me, I'd be pretty upset too. But thinking about the cow, now this is the deepest part. She she doesn't even rage, man. Through all of that she's going through, the only thing the cow does is cry. I gotta show y'all this. It broke my heart when I first seen this. I could not ever touch another piece of any type of meat, beef, especially beef. It really broke my heart. And then I understood why I kept throwing up that meat. That was like my ancestors telling me, boy, you better stop eating that, boy. That was literally like my ancestors every time, I swear. It's crazy, but I swear. That or Yahweh or both. Because Yahweh don't like that. Why you think Yahweh wanted us killing his creation? You think Yahweh created his creation for us to kill it? We can get biblical too. I mean, for those of you who know me, I've already proven this many times biblically. But yeah, we're not supposed to be doing that. Let me pull it out for you right quick. Let me show you this too, just so y'all can see. Even to say biblically, even though y'all already know how I'm coming about that. Keep that open right there. My mind races a lot. This really hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Cows crying, bro. Like crying. Real tears. Real tears. Crying. crying, fam. Now, like I said, when I watched that, I ain't going. When I first seen this, and I learned this from this guy. It's like Sanguru or something like that. I can't remember. He's an Indian guy, but it was very interesting because he was talking about how in India, you know how they cherish the cow. Like they do not eat them. Like it's against the law to eat cows over there. You know, because how they cherish the cow, because how special the cow as an animal is. It was so interesting. He said that out of all the farm animals, when you are feeling like down, you know, depressed, or just, you know, any type of way, especially if you're down in a sad mood, the cow will be all the way in the farm or wherever you have it at, crying for you, literally crying. And I went and looked up cows crying. He was showing the images of them crying and stuff. And I was just like, man, this is crazy. And I went and looked up cows crying in the slaughterhouses. And I just see them all just lined up, just crying, bruh. And I could just think of their emotions of why they might be crying, you know. They're scared as crap. You know, they're wondering where their bull is. You know, the bull he has to be the protection. Me being a man and my children, my children's in my house sleeping, and but my children and my wife are in my house sleeping right now. So me being the man I am, I know I'm the protection. So I could just imagine how she feels not being around her protection, and then her baby being taken away from her. I mean, constant crying, honestly. And then just seeing all the rest of the cows, because we sit here and might think animals don't have any emotions or animals don't feel pain, but that is the stupidest freaking thing that I've ever heard. I heard someone literally trying to explain that to someone else, and he was like, bro, that's stupid. And I was like, yeah, that's also stupid. Because how can we say that the animals don't feel pain or that they don't have emotions? And I literally took this, and I really literally understood this when I had my own children. When I had my own children, I physically understood this, because I said, anything that can have children, anything that can have babies, most definitely has emotions. Most definitely. It's not a single animal. Again, just like I was saying, we can go look up how many animals kill people. I mean, on a daily. Do animals go on a killing spree of people? Has cows ever killed anyone? Absolutely not. Right? Now, we can go look up how many animals are cruel to their babies or do not protect their babies. That's not even a thing. That's not even a thing to see animals not protecting their babies. So if these animals are protecting their babies, are willing to fight for their babies, die for their babies. Again, we was talking about the lion. Go look at the lion in the Lion Kingdom. When another lion walks up on him, what that lion does automatically he goes in defense mode. He puts his cubs and the lioness behind him, and he goes into defense mode automatically, because it's only one lion. It's only one lion. How do you think the bull feels? You know? So now, again, so just thinking about the cows, just thinking about them, seriously thinking about them, and just thinking about all the other animals, you know, because we don't really pay attention to them. We're just munching on them. You know, munching on them. Let's talk about milk right quick. Let's ask some questions about milk. So, does milk contain feces? Because we don't even go over the process of them milking the cow, which is terrible. Again, let's think about women. How would you feel if your mother, or if you had a pregnant woman, you know, you had a baby, and you know she breastfed? How would you feel if someone came, knocked on your door, and said, hey man, we need the woman that has that breast milk to come on, because we got this cereal out here. You know, we trying to eat some cereal. You know, you'd be ready to kill somebody or call the police, whatever. Right? Now, how about this cow? How do we think about this cow? Not to mention, again, we said that we're not even finna drink our mother's breast milk because we're too old for that. But we're drinking an animal's milk. One animal specifically, because we wouldn't even drink dog's milk or cat's milk or any of the other animals which also produce milk. But why not? This is disgusting. If we ask someone, would you drink dog's milk, or would you? I've done it multiple times. I've asked thousands of people these same questions. Been banned for even asking these questions, thanks to TikTok. But If you ask people, are they going to drink some cat milk or dog milk now? And the reason why it's a problem for us to start thinking about this, because the killing of cows and the drinking of the milk of cows and all of that is one of the biggest scams of the Americas. It's one of the biggest scams. That's what it is. It's a scam, because we're at this point, we're not even eating real cows. We're not even eating real beef. Literally, we're not even drinking what comes fresh out of the cow. You know. But we're gonna ask: does milk contain poop? And I'm sorry if this might ruin, your eating or drinking or whatever. It says milk literally contains poop. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look. I want y'all to see this. Milk literally contains poop. Like, we don't even have to go any further there. We don't even have to go any further there. And again, if you'd like to, we can scroll. We can do the same thing, and let's scroll, because this is how you do simple research, and see how many of them are correlating with what we just read. Guarantee you all of them are telling you the same thing. This is why people have such bad problems with being lactose intolerant. You're wondering why it's tearing your stomach up because you're drinking dookie. That sounds hilarious. It sounds crazy, but it's like, bro, we're drinking dookie. What the fuck? I'm sorry, man. It's just like, bro. When I first started to think about this, because I used to love milk. What? I used to love some cereal. Stop playing. I'm not going to sit here and point the finger and act like I didn't just used to drink dookie with y'all. I was drinking a good glass of dookie too, man. I'm not going to lie. Drinking a bowl of it. Eating my cereal. Man, real talk. But when I started to think about this, I'm like, ew, this is nasty. What, why isn't anyone saying anything about this? Like, why isn't the doctor saying anything about this? The doctor's so concerned about our health. Well, I know that by eating poop, you can die. By eating someone else's poop, you will literally die. Literally. Matter of fact, bro, you can die from fecal matter, dog. Like, it's a real thing. It's a real disease. It's crazy. I forgot the exact name of the disease, but it's pretty nasty. But we're drinking it. And animals at that. Now, another question. So, if we're drinking poop, how good can this really be for our bones? They're telling us, oh, well, milk strengthens your bones. Milk strengthens your bones. Okay, well, yes, I would agree. Milk strengthens the bones of a baby who has no bones, who has no bone structure. Their bone structure is very fragile, Of course, their bones need to be strengthened. But this is why it's formula milk. It's not no jug milk. Or it's breast milk. The best thing for the baby, which is why the baby's always the healthiest when they're breastfed, is the breast milk from the mother, obviously, right? Now, why is that? Well, that's obviously how Yahweh created it. I mean, like, we can't, that's a question that no one could really ever answer. Why do babies drink milk? Well, that's the same reason why you get hungry and eat food. You'd have to go ask Yahweh that, because, I mean, he's the creator of all, so he'd probably be he'd definitely be the only one who could answer something like that, because I surely couldn't. But now to say, we're going to ask the question, does milk decay your bones? We can just, it says body. It says body, bro. I'm going to type in bones, though. They ask so many of them. Does milk decay your teeth? All of that. We asked the question, does milk decay your bones? It says milk and dairy consumption is associated with the reduced risk of some chronic diseases and had a beneficial effect on bone mineral density, but not a risk of bone fracture. In other words saying, drinking milk is making your bones dense, hollow. But they're not necessarily the reason why your bones are breaking, but it's the reason why in America, by the time people are, again, 50 years old, and this is not even just that speaking to the African American community anymore. This is speaking literally to Americans as a whole. By the time Americans are about 50 to 60 years old, drinking all of this milk, their bones are torn up. Your bones are creaking. Your bones are messed up. They've become hollow. We've literally drank them hollow. And again, we can do the same thing and scroll. If someone asks the question, is milk bad for your bones? It says, man, it says, my health coach says that I should avoid milk because it is acidic. And contrary to common belief, it will actually deplete the calcium in my bones. It will take the calcium out of your bones. It's going to hollow your bones. And we're sitting here drinking it. Like, not questioning it. But the thing is, because we don't know. No one's bringing this to our attention. And this is a problem. Like, this is seriously a problem. Like, this would help a lot of people, with their bone problems if they would stop drinking milk. Because, this is how you know that how wicked these people are who are over everything. And how, if you don't believe that is truly something really wicked going on, then just believe this. It's all about money. If you're cool with believing it's all about money, then know this. The love for money is the root of all evil. All right, cool. So it's evil going on, real wickedness. Now, why the heck, if they know that bones are decaying from drinking this milk, why do they tell you at the hospital, if you have a bone problem, you need to drink milk? It's obviously because they want your bones to keep breaking so you can keep coming back. Or to where you just have to rely on them to live in general from being in the hospital. Right? Because one thing we're not paying attention to either is how much money we're sitting here spending. We're sitting here spending money to hurt ourselves. It's crazy. We're literally sitting here buying milk and wondering, for a lot of people who have had bone fractures, me, myself, my hand broke. And it's crazy because I used to do martial arts and stuff. So, like, I never really thought my hand would be that fragile or anything like that. But just drinking a ton of milk, one day, my hand just snapped. And it was like, wow, this is crazy. What the heck? And so I started to really look into milk. And I was like, wow. This is why I remember as a little kid, like when I was younger as a kid, I hated milk. My mom used to always get on me, boy, you better finish drinking that milk with that cereal. And I'd be like, no, I don't want it. I'd be like, all right. And I'd take a few sips. She'd walk off, I pour it down the sink. But now I understand, like, because, when I got older, I didn't mind. I drink it, eat the cereal, drink the milk. I was fine. But as a kid, because, when you're a kid, you are so much smarter, man. If any young people watch this, any people that are young, if you watch this, just know, hey, what's up, Nana? But if any young people watch this, just know that you are smart. You are smart. You're smarter than anyone would ever tell you that you are. And don't let anyone tell you that you're not smart. To any young people, I don't care if you're 5 years old, 6 years old, if you know how to work a phone, you're smart, okay? So use your smarts. Be smarter than others. The show is, are you smarter than a fifth grader? You know why the show is, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Because a lot of people, I'm 22 years old, and it's a lot of things that I'm pretty sure I could learn from a fifth grader. What? An adult saying he can learn from a fifth grader? Absolutely. Absolutely. You see, you stop growing and you stop learning when you think you're grown. And this is why children are always smarter. This is why I say to all my young people watching, you're smarter because you already know that you have to keep growing. You know that you have to keep learning. You're going to get bigger. You're going to get bigger one day. But you see, adults, we feel, oh, we're grown. We don't gotta listen to nobody. We don't need nobody to tell us. That's craziness. That's absolutely craziness. Take in as much as you can take in. Listen to as much as you can listen to. Be like a tree. Be still. And be like water at the same time. Be free. Be flowing. Let your mind flow and be free. Right? So you can grasp these type of things, and you can put them in your life. Right? So knowing that milk literally decays our bones, just saying, especially to all my young people. At this point, I'm really just speaking to the young people because us older people, we're stuck in our ways. But we probably should take a little bit of a step back from the milk, most definitely. And also the meat. Facts. Children's curiosity is on a high level and they love learning. School kills kids' curiosity and bad things we see from other people. Oh, you just said something there, man. You just said something there. No lie. It really breaks my heart seeing that too. You know, the one thing about the school system, and this is why my son is absolutely not going to no school. You know, it's a book called The Destruction of Black Boys in America. I think that's the title of it. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna bring it up on here. I'm gonna end up taking a live time to do a live on here and I'm gonna show it. But it's just really heartbreaking. So I'll just give you guys like a sum up of it. So basically in America, the goal for, and my phone's on 10%, you guys, so I'm about to have to get off of here. But so basically the goal in America is for the black child, you know, black boy specifically, to go through these stages in school and life specifically. So he starts off excelling. He starts off doing great attitude, you know, loves school, happy, great. And this is from about, you know, from the time he starts school, whether it be pre-K, kindergarten, to about the 5th to 6th grade. Now the studies show from about the time of 7th to 9th grade, his grades start to decline a little and his behavior starts to change a little. He doesn't seem to be as happy anymore about coming to school, and in class he doesn't really seem to care. He doesn't really bring his homework in. He's not really very effective anymore like he used to be when he was just passing all A's and B's and stuff. Now he's making C's. He's still passing some classes. You know, he's passing gym, of course. Everyone's passing gym. But most of his other classes, he's just barely passing. Well, by the time he hits 10th grade and on out, the studies show, and this is the plan, by the time the black boy hits 10th grade, he has one or two things. Dropped out completely. He has dropped out completely, right? Or life has gotten him. He's been killed or something like that, right? And the reasoning be because he lost his enthusiasm in school. Why does this happen? Well, specifically because the black boy is being chosen all throughout. I remember being in school, man, and I remember it'd be certain teachers that would just nag and pick, say racist things, and you can't say anything back. You say anything back, you know, you're in trouble. I'm from the South, so when it comes to racism and stuff, I used to just wonder, like, why? What did I do to deserve this? Like, people mad at me because I'm born? People mad at me because I'm born. How does that sound? Just listen to that now. I did physically nothing wrong to anyone or anyone's race of people. I don't know anything my ancestors even did to anyone, right? But someone's mad at me because I'm born? Someone will be mad at my son. You see right now my son is, oh, he's so cute, he's a baby, da da da. But by the time he hits 10 years old, as I'm saying, by the time he hits 10, 15, now he's not looked at as the same all cute child anymore. Not by society anyways. And this is why what you just said with the whole school system thing, man. Shalom, keep your mission. Great work. Thank you so much, family. I appreciate that support. But what you said with the whole school system thing is really very important. And this is another thing to all my young people that is watching this. And if you're in school, I want you to keep this in mind. Your teacher ain't smarter than you. Your teacher is not smarter than you. I'm going to say this one more time. Your teacher is not smarter than you. If you really want to be smarter than your teacher, if you really don't like your teacher, if you really want to be a class clown, do some research. Go to school and tell your teacher, prove your teacher wrong with research, right? People are going to look at you like, wow. See, it's not cool to be a no class clown. It's not cool to be getting kicked out of school. It's not cool to be getting in trouble, right? But if you really want to do this, this is what you do. If you really want to go against your school system, if you really want to, I don't want to go to school today. See, it's not cool to not go to school. It's not cool. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not cool to not get an education. regardless of how wrong the school system may be. So you have to first understand what's going on before you can just say, oh, I'm going to back out. But if you want to do that, be above the school system. Do your research. But I love you all, man. I appreciate you all for watching, the few that did. And I just hope that you all have a blessed one. Facts. And kids start to lose curiosity in middle school. The school system is so bad. Yep. But you all just have a blessed one.